Okay, so I didn't really have a gag for this video, so I just want to show you off some stuff that I got. So, one of my first playthroughs I ever did on the backlog being my, the name of this channel, it's like extra name, was doing Pokemon Emerald on an emulator. Now, I did have a copy of Pokemon Emerald, but the problem is that it was like a fakie. It worked. It definitely worked, but it didn't have the battery in it, and it didn't even have like points for the battery to be soldered into. So I could tell it's most definitely a fake. But this one I got for Christmas. Uh, this one is most definitely real. You can tell by the foil. It's really hard to see it on camera, but you can see it there for a second. When you brush it against the light, you can definitely see more of a shimmering thing. If it's not that the entire like sticker is made out of foil, it's that there's little foil pieces on it. And then it has the battery, it's got the Nintendo in there. And then even if you look really close, you wouldn't ever be able to see this on camera without me trying really hard. But I think you can see like numbers right above the seal of quality. I have a number 41. Like that would be extremely hard to see, knowing that the camera's just not in focus right now. But anyway, I just want to show that off, just because I really want to try and redo a playthrough of Emerald, since those were like beginning episodes that were like almost an hour long each, where I could literally just make better episodes that are like, in the format that I usually make them now. So, just something funny I thought I'd show you. Hey guys, welcome back to the backlog, as well as opening more Digimon boosters. I only have about 2 left in this set, so after I get done these two, I can actually be back to, what the backlog is usually supposed to be doing, playing video games. But, I have so much fun opening these Digimon cards. Let's just make the entire channel about that. Yeah, probably that's not what you came here for, but, I do so much Digimon stuff, this might actually be what you came here for now. So, anyway, last time we opened the next adventure pack and got a lot of cool cards, and now we've got ourselves EX, or yeah, EX2 Digital Hazard. So, I've opened EX3 on the channel, being Draconic Roar, and then I have had packs of EX1 before, which is the classic collection, but I never showed that off on camera. So this is kind of the last EX pack, at least at this point in time in the English version, that is available. So that's pretty interesting that I'll have cards from each and every set. But I'm hoping that, because from what the back says, it says 72 card types in total, which means that there's only 72 cards to even go over. So that means I'm guessing this could be made into a much shorter series, because I usually go to 4 episodes for a box, since like I'm always like covering cards and talking about their text and stuff. But this time I have less of a less cards to speak of, so we might be able to speed this up a bit. Not that I don't enjoy having you guys here, but, I'd like to get back to Sonic Front Forces. Yeah, definitely. Why did both new Sonic games have to have F in their names? One is a horrible, shitty game, and the other one's a pretty good game. It's like, I'll always tend to mix them up for some unknown reason. That's just what you get. That's just what you get. Anyway, as always, we've got Skizzers. Well, they're partially Frozen Breeze branded. Mine that I have where I usually live do have like little red middle pieces, but this one's just red for some unknown reason. Anyway, I'm hoping to get through these 2 packs that I've had today, because I do have a plan for a video that may or may not happen. If it does happen, you'll know what I mean, but if it doesn't happen, it really doesn't matter. But my plan is that one of my friends, he's been on the channel before, but a very, very long time ago. One of my friends, John, He's not really into Digimon card games. He's more into Magic since he grew up with Magic, and his older half brother was like super into it, so he was super into it. And one game that he's always been wanting us to play is Magic. Now he already taught me how to play it quite some time ago, but he tried to teach our friend Tyler and our friend Zephram, and it just really didn't work out all that well. But he wants to try it again in the draft format. Which, if you don't know what a draft is, it's kind of like what you do at a pre-release event where you're given cards and have to make a deck out of the cards that you're given from like booster packs. But draft is kind of like you move the pack around the table and people just take the cards they want out of the pack in order to try and like create a deck using that and then win like a small little tournament. You can kind of do it with every card game. I don't know how well a Digimon draft would work, but it would work better than a Pokemon draft, since Pokemon requires certain evolutions. Digimon can evolve into anything, so yeah, that might be a video, that might not be a video, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, enough about Magic, a card game I don't really like, because I don't like that whole high fantasy stuff. I only like Digimon. Go, Digimon! Open to the extreme. There you go. He opened to the extreme, thank God. Ooh. Alright, we do have well, we don't have any extra cool special packs that we usually get, but we do have a little box topper, so you go over there and bring me over my phone, not mine, it's actually my associate's, as I call her. It's her phone holder thing that she got when she was a kid, and I just use it as a way of holding cards down so that, you can easily read them. So let's see. I've got my phone camera still working as a light, but I need to readjust the focus on the camera so that the text that's currently on there, it looks readable, but I know it's gonna need a little bit extra. Ooh, that's definitely something. That's about as good as I can get it. Because of how much text is on there, yeah, I could technically read it from there, but it's just not going to work out all that well. Anyway, let me rip this baby up. I've never actually pulled cards from Digital Hazard, so I'm going to have to actually save one of the packs, like I usually do. Hoarder abilities go. Anyway, let's read the card that we got at the very top of it. It's a super rare, and I guess it's alternative art because I can feel the texture of it being something different. Anyway, I wonder if this is going to be any different than the regular Mastamon card that comes with the starter deck. Let's see, is that still fine in focus? I had to move the camera down so that it would encompass the entire card. Oh boy, I gotta love it where you just have to adjust it until everything goes down. That's about as good as I can get it. 69. Gotta love it. Anyway, we've got Mastamon here. I guess this is around the time that DNA Digivolution started entering into the game. I actually don't know what set started it. I don't know. Maybe Awakening? But I'm not sure. Trying to figure out the timing of stuff is weird. I just can never figure it out. Because, I think after Next Adventure is when they started implementing it. Or maybe... Does it go Double Diamond then Next Adventure? I forget anyway. Anyway, let's just read the card art. So, Mastamon is kind of just staring down at us. And her ability reads, after I have to do a giant snort. That's what happens when you start sniffing car fumes. Just don't even try and understand what I just said. Just don't. Just don't. Anyway, Mastamon's ability reads DNA Digivolution 0 from a ultimate yellow and purple Digimon. And when you DNA Digivolve, you can Digivolve unsuspended with 2 specific Digimon stacked on top of each other, meaning that if you ever do a DNA Digivolution, you will get to attack immediately afterwards. So that's gonna be, I guess, imperative to learn if we do a lot of DNA Digivolution cards in this pack. Anyway, it says, when Digivolving, place 1 yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash on top of your security stack face down. Okay? When DNA digivolving, you may search your security stack for a level 5 or lower Digimon card and play it without its memory cost, then shuffle your security stack. So you can get like a recovery, or you can get a recover, or you can have the same exact number and then summon a Digimon. But I guess if there's no target, then the DNA Digivolution thing just doesn't do anything. Okay. Then it says, all turns, when you play another Digimon using an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to that played Digimon's level. And really, most Digimon, I mean, using that, like, when Digivolving ability, you could get rid of a level 5, but most, like, Megas are not going to be able to be played by card effect unless you're playing a very certain deck. So, don't know how well that effect will actually play out, but cool art anyway. I'd have to check this against the starter deck Mastamon, just in case I know if it's like, oh, is it the same or is it different? I don't know. Anyway, here we got ourselves Digital Hazard, which is a reference to Gyomon being the Digital Hazard Digimon. Because when Magidramon exists, everybody dies. Everybody's dead. So, that's pretty rad, I would say. Death, pretty rad, man. Oh, God. I love trying to save plastic. It just never works all that well. Come on, you. I've created a hole. I've created a hole in time and space, and now I can suck penis. I'm so proud of myself, I guess. Oh. Is that gonna be fine? Didn't mess up the front, so I guess I'm okay with this. Now I just gotta find a way to, like, get this out without ruining the plastic. Oh, it's like made out of plastic. It's made out of like some kind of like aluminum foil, but it also is made out of like plastic. Don't you love it where you're ripping it and it just don't work and it just don't rip? I got it out. So let me show you the damage and if I believe that this is well worth keeping. So no damage on the front, but it does have a damage on the barcode, and it made me stretch out like the plastic. So it's pretty much the same as it was, and the front is completely saved. So I'd say it's well worth keeping. Alright, I had to knock this thing a bit while I was messing with that. But anyway, let's get looking at these cards. These are all going to be completely new ones I've never... Well, maybe I've seen in, like, videos and stuff, but I've never seen before in real life. Anyway. Alright. Can I get a bit better lighting? Nah, not really. Nah, fuck me. No lighting. Okay, we got Andromon, who has Blocker for an ability, and during your opponent's turn, all of your Digimon Blocker get plus 2,000. So, I mean, most black decks will have something, at least early black decks will have stuff to do about Blocker. So that would make him like an 8,000 Blocker, which isn't bad, but then again, it's a very basic ability. You're a basic bitch, Andromon. But I do like your art. You're kind of getting like charged up or something. Alright, let's go on to the next card. Alright, I'm just going to place them over there. And Cubimon, shooting out the Foxfire, or whatever that attack is usually called. I always forget her attack. It's like, I think it is Foxfire here in America. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different Digimon, I don't know. Okay, so Cubimon, who's just kind of, flying, I guess, says, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add one option card with plugin in its name among them to your hand. That reminds me of the Renamons I got from either X-Record or Cross Encounter. I guess just the Renamon archetype is just a lot about those plugin cards, but I only have 2 different kinds of plugins. I've only got C and O. And that says place the remaining at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then its inheritable says your turn once returned. When you would use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets negative 2,000 DP for the turn. Not bad, but it doesn't say until the end of your opponent's next turn. It just says for the turn. So it would be like more of something that you would use to fight a certain Digimon or try and get them that little bit closer to 0. So Might be good, might be bad. All right, what we got next? Oh, Locomon. You know, I kept on forgetting Locomon's name. For some reason, like lately, when I was trying to think of like what Locomon's name was, I was thinking, oh, it's Trainmon, right? But no, Locomotive. I don't know how I could forget that. He's like a quote unquote villain for one of the movies, so I don't know. Maybe this will have to do more about like uh Tamers than I think it does, because it literally has Locomon in it. Anyway, he's just, being a train. He doesn't look like the ones from Frontiers. And it says for his ability, your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into a ground Locomon in your hand, reduce the Digivolution by 1. A ground Locomon. What? Either that's a different Digimon or they don't call Grand Locomon. That is so weird because even in the English version they call him Gran Locomon. So say hello to your new best friend, Ground Locomon. I guess like not much I can do with that one. It just makes me wonder what the fuck is a Ground Locomon. Aren't most trains supposed to run on the ground? Unless I guess you're a monorail, but there's no such thing as monorailmon. There's monodramon, but not monorailmon. You know, I've just thought of the world's best Digimon. Nobody's ever going to use that. All right, we've got Ice Devimon, who's just kind of, I guess, Morbin in the snow. You got to be Morbin in the snow. Really, we tried to watch Morbius once. We got to like the fight in the train with Matt Smith, and we just gave up because we were just like, man, this is just even dumber than we even thought it would be. Good old Jared Leto. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea. Alright, so Ice Devimon's ability says, when attacking, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. Kind of basic, but I don't... It's just basic, that's all I can say. Not super useful. Oh shit, we got ourselves one of the D-Reaper things. So, this thing doesn't even have a level, but then again, like... The D-Reaper's not a Digimon. The D-Reaper's like a massive virus. So I guess this is just one of its little flyer thingies. So the ADR08 Optimizer has dash level with a play cost of 10. It says, on play when attacking once per turn. That's just so many. On play when attacking once per turn. So you have to play it, then attack with it, and only once per turn. I don't get it. If one of your Mother D-Reapers has 5 or more Digivolution cards, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one card with D-Reaper in its traits, and a play cost of 10 or less among them, without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. I just don't see... I think I've seen parts of the D-Reaper archetype before, but I don't know their, like, actual thing, so... I don't know what this ability would gain you because I don't have the Mother D-Reaper and know what its effect is. So, other than that, it looks like a big purple and green dildo. I don't know what much else this thing does. So, guess we can find more parts of the Mother D-Reaper we might be able to understand. Anyway, we got ourselves a new plugin card. We have High Speed Plugin D. It says, while a Tamer is in play, you may use this card without meeting color requirements, and main for your turn, one of your Digimon gains jamming and can't be blocked by your opponent's Digimon. For 2, just to gain jamming, that's not bad. You could put that on a rookie and just have them, like, strike at security without needing to worry about anything. And for 2, I don't know. Low cost, but it seems like it should be a 1. And then for security, it just says draw 1, then add this card to your hand, which is pretty good. I'd rather more use it for a security ability than its main ability, I would say. Alright, we do have another piece of the D-Reaper, then. I haven't seen, like, the ending of Tamers. I've only ever seen the first few episodes. And because of that, like, I know the ending of Tamers, but I've never seen any of the things that are happening with it. I just know that Jerry is, like, a weird, like, demon thing. The Mother D-Reaper is a giant spaghetti monster, and it has little drones. But I've never seen this thing, the ADR Horn Striker. You know, I've focused it well enough so that I can actually sit back and like stare at my camera's view of it. So anyway, the ADR 06 Horn Striker, it says, your turn while you have a Mother D Reaper in play. This Digimon gains Rush. Okay. And again, I don't know what it's supposed to do in like context of the game. I just really need to see what the archetype is even supposed to be doing. Next up, we've got Offensive Plugin A. It's very offensive. It just said the N-word. A card can say the N-word? Well, you know, there's the N-word pass, and that would be technically be a card, so that would be racist. I don't know. Anyway, it says, when you have a tamer in play, you can play this card without color requirements. I'm guessing most, if not every plugin says that. It says, main one of your Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. Not bad for a 2. Then security has a ton of words. It says, security revealed top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 tamer among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then add this card to your hand. I mean, that's pretty good. That's even better than the blue high speed one, just with the knowledge that you can actually search instead of just draw. So, not a bad card. Much better for a 2, but really you'd want it in your security than you'd want it in your hand. Alright. Got ourselves a Monodramon. I was just talking about Monodramon. Being that we are in Digital Hazard, I'm guessing it has something to do with Rio. We've had Rio-centric cards in the past. I think we had one in the first one we opened, in Adventure or Awakening or whatever. Because it showed, like, when Agumon came out of the computer during Anode Cathode Tamer. So, those words might not make any sense, but if you're a true Digimon fan, you'll have understood every one of those words. Anyway, Monodramon's ability reads, on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add all black tamers among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. That's a pretty good ability if you were to, for like some astronomical purpose, you accidentally run into every tamer in that top 4 cards. That would be pretty OP, but then again, that would be very, like, unlikely, I would say. Alright, mix this down. We've got Death Slinger, and it's got Biaozamon Blast Mode, shooting its kind of like Corona Destroyer, but I guess maybe this is like the rename of it, Death Slinger? Is this... It looks... Because he's got green eyes, so that has to be Biaozamon Blast Mode, so... Pretty cool looking. It says, when this card is trashed from the deck, gain 1 memory. Then for main, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 maximum level to the number of Digimon that can be chosen with this effect. So this could get a lot better if you're late in the game. Early in the game, you could get rid of a champion, but late in the game, this would actually be a whole lot more useful. And there's cards to search out options in the purple Digimon, so might not be a bad card. And then it just says for security, activate the main effect. In that situation, getting it in security would probably be a whole lot less useful, since really you'd want to be able to use it during a certain time instead of, like, you know, just whenever. Anyway, oh, we got ourselves Calumon, or just Calamon. Everybody gotta remember this thing from Tamers. This is a rare. It's got really cool art, but it's just a rare. It's like showing it in the Digivolution like scene, because Calumon was the one that caused Digivolution during the series. And it says, when you would play this card from your hand, reduce its cost by 2 if you have Guilmon, Terriermon, Renamon, or Impmon in play. Your turn, this Digimon can't attack. You wouldn't want to be attacking with this Digimon. Then your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this Digimon to gain 1 memory, draw 1, and have one of your Digimon get plus 3,000 for the turn. So this Calumon kind of acts like a tamer, like a pseudo-tamer Digimon mixture in a way, which is very interesting. I've never seen a card like that, but I don't know its viability. I mean, it could be good in a Guilmon deck, but I think it really depends. Anyway, what's behind it? Looks cool. Oh, well, we got one of the one of the main Digimon of Tamers. Not one of the main ones, but it is like a Tamers Digimon. I always forget that guy. He was the glasses guy. He kind of looked like Joe, but he was just like one of Takado's stupid friends that he hung out with and then came to the digital world. And he was able to meet a Mega to be his partner. The most insignificant and worthless Mega of the entire series, Marine Angemon. So that's strange. But then again, it's one of the most like iconic ones for its weirdness. So makes sense that it would be turned to a card. Man, my stomach is rolling, as Wario once said. Anyway, Marine Angemon's ability reads as such. On play, so on play with 11 memory, for each of your opponent's Digimon with the no Digivolution cards, recovery +1. This effect can't increase the number of cards in your security stack to 6 or more. Okay, so you can only set it to 6. I have an idea in which this would work. Because that on-play effect for 11 is horrible, but if you somehow were able to play a card on top of Marine Angemon, like, I don't know, you maybe have Aigastramon in your hand, or any level 7 blues. There's not that many, really I can only think of Aigastramon. But if you were to somehow play a level 7 blue on top of this, and it had an ability where it said remove Digivolution cards to set them as a Digimon and play them without memory cost. Because, you know, blue tends to do that. I don't know if Aigastramon's ability does that, or any other level 7 blue, but if you were to do that with Marine Angemon, then you could activate the on-play effect without, like, wasting the 11 memory. But that is such a specific situation that I don't think you'd ever want to run this card as something more than just a like gag card, really. So, interesting strategy. Don't think anybody would ever play it like that. All right. Oh boy. I love it when I do that and I hit the camera. Not even I did hit the camera, but I also hit the what's it called? Just the stand, I guess. Oh, we got something cool as his first card. They did fuck up his name. You'll see. So instead of Grand Locomon, we got ourselves Ground Locomon. Who fucked that one up? Who at Bandai said, oh, Grand Locomon, they literally called it that in the movie. No, it's Ground Locomon. I don't get that. Alright then, well, that's like one of the dumbest name changes I've ever heard. Doesn't even make it sound cooler. Alright then, well, Ground Locomon's ability says, your turn. This Digimon can't attack your opponent's Digimon. What the fuck? That is... Why? Then your turn, all turns, for each card in your trash with Cyborg and Machine in its traits, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Not bad for that secondary effect, but that first effect just seems like the dumbest thing ever. Meaning that it can only attack security. That would be just... So if you're trying to defend yourself by stopping another Digimon by using its secondary effect to kind of stomp over something, impossible. I guess that means it's still blockable, which means it can still fight Digimon, it just can't initiate a fight. I just don't see much of... I mean, it's only a common, but I don't see much of a reason in running this card, other than just for the dumb name fuck-up. Alright, we got ourselves Gargomon, or as the Japanese call it, Galgomon, because of the other Gargomon that exists. Gargomon's ability says, your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a Green Tamer in play, reduce the Digivolution by 1. I mean, useful for Digivolving, but then again, I don't. I'd want something that would help it, not the Digimon above it. Then it says for its inheritable, your turn once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2000 for the turn. Not a bad inheritable, seeing that it adds plus 2000 instead of just 1000. Very interesting card art. He's just shooting at nothing. And then again, if you remember from Tamers, he like goes crazy at the very beginning when he becomes Gargomon, so Gargomon is definitely my favorite out of the champions from Tamers, and Rapidmon's my favorite ultimate out of all of them, so. You know me, I just like this bunny dog weirdo, so. I like the art, but the ability itself is kind of lackluster, so. Anyway, we're starting to see at least one copy. We got ourselves an Andromon. Alright. Labramon makes sense for this pack since it was in the first movie. It was kind of a sad moment because Labramon fucking died. Anyway, we got Labramon, and its ability says, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has jamming, gain 1 memory. Kind of a lackluster ability. It doesn't give them jamming, it just says if they do have jamming, gain 1 memory. I would want it to say like gain 2 memory, and then it would be worth playing, but I would say it's not much worth of anything. Alright, we got another piece of the D Reaper. We've got ADR07, Patale's Head. Palette's Head. It's a weird looking guy. Kind of reminds me of Kirby in a way. I don't know why. Maybe just because of the big old head and a bunch of mouths. Very symbolistic, I would say. And its ability reads, main, if you have a Mother D Reaper in play, you may suspend this Digimon to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. Yeah, that's like only 3,000, so you'd only really be killing rookies. Just seems kind of like a lackluster ability targeting things that other cards do without, like, suspending itself, so. Not great, not great. You got Fist of the Beast King. That could work for Tamers, or is just, you know, because Leomon's all over the fucking place. Anyway, Beast of the Feast King. Beast of the Feast King, yes. Fist of the Beast King reads, while you have a Digimon with Biaozamon in its name in play, you may use this card without meeting color requirements. Unsuspend one of your Digimon with Leomon or Biaozamon in its name. Because remember at the very end of Tamers, this is one scene I have seen before. Biaozamon breaks through that orb by using Fist of the Beast King. He somehow, like, harnesses Leomon's dead body in order to save Jerry, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, we still got more viruses to talk about. We've got ADR09 Gatekeeper. And it says, for security, play this card without battling and playing its... Oh, it doesn't battle. It doesn't even cause a battle. And without paying its memory cost. I'm guessing this is a gate to the digital world in a way. Then on play, if you have a Mother D Reaper in play, recovery +1. Opponent's turn, if you have a Mother D Reaper with 6 or more Digivolution cards in play, all of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack -1. So only during the opponent's turn. That's actually a pretty good ability since really only Megas can get security attack +1. So you would already need security attack +1 just to do a regular attack. So that seems like a pretty good card. But really, you wouldn't want to play it for the 11 play cost. You'd probably want to play it through security like it's saying here. So, interdasting. Got ourselves another Ice Devimon, Morbin in the Snow. Would you like to go Morbing in the Snow? It just sounds like a really shitty, like, holiday song. Like, Morbin in the Snow. Now we got Gigimon and Jiraimon. Well, Jiraimon is eating Gigimon, and Gigimon is eating an apple, so... Don't quite understand why Jiraimon is just eating himself, but I guess it's like the snake that eats himself. But instead of the snake destroying itself completely after that, just Jiraimon sits on top of Digimon's head and sucks on him. So, you know, vaguely sexual. Anyway, his inheritable reads, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Guilmon, Growlmon, or Gallantmon in its name, draw 1. That is actually pretty good. When attacking once per turn, so, like, you know, you'll be running this in a Guilmon deck, most likely, so I'd say it's pretty useful. Okay. It's Henry's sister, but why is her name like that? Didn't she have a different name? Or maybe I don't even know her name. Shu Chung Wong. Henry Wong. Because remember, he's Chinese, he's not Japanese. So that just Shu Chong Wong just sounds so racist. But then again, I don't like the Chinese Communist Party, so they're the only government I'll be extremely racist to. Sorry, all Chinese people that are just in America, but I don't like communists. You're a fucking communist. I don't know how a little child can be a communist, but then again, if you haven't been seeing stuff about communist China, you probably don't understand how that might actually be more accurate than than I may be making it. Anyway, her ability says on play you may play one Lopmon from your hand without paying its security cost. I guess it has to be. I mean, I guess you could be running purple Lopmon with it, but I think you should probably be running like yellow Lopmon. And it says start of turn if you have 3 or fewer security cards, draw 1. That's pretty good just to get cards out from there. Then it says for security just play it without cost. So not a bad card. It just makes me too American, I would say. Let's see, another piece from Digimon that are in the show. We've got Gardramon, being that stupid guy with the hats Digimon. I don't know their names. Like, I know Rika or Ruki if you're in Japan, Henry and Takato, but I just don't know anybody else. I know Jerry. That's about it. Sorry, I just don't know them all that well. Anyway, Gardramon's ability is blocker, just like Andromon. Then on play, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Not bad, but then again, it's like I guess it's playing into Andromon's stuff down there. So now we got ourselves Takato Matsuki. I guess I didn't know his last name. I just always thought I didn't know what it was. So we got Takato, the main character of Tamers. So we had to see him at some point. And he's just putting on his goggles. His goggles look so much more dorkier than the ones from like Adventure 1 and 2. Anyway, his ability says, your turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. Then your turn, while one of your Digimon would Digivolve, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon, yeah, say that 5 times fast. When one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon. I said that 5 times without fucking it up. I think it's because I've been saying Digi too much. Anyway, with Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, that Digimon gains when Digivolving Blitz for the turn. So just giving Blitz is pretty good. Not a bad card. Then it says for security, play it without its memory cost. So not a bad card. Let it pass. Anyway, I think yeah, we're around that time. I had started recording but went to go do something, so I had some extra time on the timer, so I was just trying to figure out, when do we actually stop the episode? But I think it's about time we stop the episode. So next time on Opening Mon, that fine. That's what it's called now. We're gonna be opening more parts of the Digital Hazard. So I'll see you guys next time.